Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Friday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early, man. It's not 3 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. It's actually a little before 6 a.m. And once again, I am at Walmart waiting for the store to open. I'm going to get all of my Christmas shopping done today, so I'm off bright and early to get this feat accomplished. One thing I want to talk about this morning is the government shutdown. I'm not going to get all into the finances and the Democrat versus Republican nonsense of it, just some things that I've observed. Let me start first. I've told you guys this before. I hate Twitter or X. I hate it, man. I go on there and it is just a wasteland of Trumper paranoid conspiracy theories, and it doesn't even, and the thing lately that drives me crazy is the bootlicking, ass kissing of billionaires. These guys just love Donald Trump, they love Elon Musk, and they don't seem to realize that how did billionaires become billionaires? Where did they make that money from? From whom and where did they make that money from? From us, trying to survive, buying our medicine, our food, our housing, our insurance, whatever. That's how, or our tech, everybody needs a phone nowadays. That's how these guys got rich. And now they're part of our government. I remember when Donald Trump, back in 2015, people said Donald Trump would make a great president because he was already rich and he didn't need to make any more money. They could trust him not to take their tax dollars. Look at everything he's tried to sell the public, tried to sell his fans, his fan base. Look at everything he's tried, the trading cards, the guitars, the Bibles. This guy has a nonstop thirst. We see that now. There's no money is ever enough. And he's still trying to make money off his fans. Okay, next thing I want to talk about, Representative Rosa DeLauro. She's from Connecticut. She is the congresswoman that has purple hair. Everybody from Connecticut knows her quite well. I love this. I'm an artist. I love individuality. I love people thinking from themselves. I think the world would be such a boring place without individuality. Okay, so on X, Rosa DeLauro got all upset about Elon Musk sticking his nose in and screwing over the whole this whole deal. And there's pictures all over Twitter today about her being the purple-haired cat lady and who is this lady, they're all making fun of her and everything. And I thought about this. Conservatives truly fear anybody that does not look like they look, dress like they dress, eat what they eat, speak how they speak, pray how they pray. And that's the biggest fundamental difference of why I am not a conservative. Like I said, I consider myself a rebel. I don't lead, I don't follow. I go on my own path. I'm a very individualist, and I think that's one of the reasons I don't get along with them. Okay, so on Twitter, one of the things I saw Elon Musk post this morning, he posted something. He's exposing what was in the spending bill. Okay, what he didn't like, and there's a screenshot of part of the bill, and it talks about biomedical research, and I read it very carefully, and it's talking about like future pandemics and setting up so if and when there is another pandemic like with this bird flu or something like that will be on top of it. We'll have labs in place to get a vaccine out there, so it'll minimize the impact, because this is going to happen again. Elon Musk on X, he's talking about bioweapons. Seriously, fear-mongering. There's not one word in there about there's not one word. Weapons is never mentioned. And if you actually take the time to read it, you understand what it's about. And I look at this stuff on X, and I'm like, this is just dumbed down ranting and raving and fear-mongering. And, if you just take the time to look at it. Okay, next thing I want to talk about, this whole thing with the government shutdown. None of these people that they're all for the government shutdown. And I see them saying, we wouldn't even notice if the government shut down. We don't need it. And I really look at these Trumpers, these conservatives, as so freaking greedy and selfish and self-centered. They have such a problem with, we live in a society, and we all chip in for the government, for this guardrail, this safety net for us. If we didn't have a government, well, what would we be? We'd be a bunch of clans, cavemen living in caves. I'm not for big pork spending or anything like that. Okay, so the conservatives they're all saying shut it down. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's like, shut it down. They're all saying shut it down until Trump takes office. And they're all supposed to be, support the troops. The troops, like Marines, Army, Navy, they're not going to get paid this week if that bill doesn't pass tonight. They won't get their last check before Christmas. Now, these are the people that supposedly love the troops. But there's not a mention about them. They're, in their mind, it won't hurt anybody. It won't hurt us. What do we care? Shut it down. These people are just for burning it all down. And that's why they elected Trump in the first place. And their wish is about to freaking come true. I don't know. Okay, last thing I want to say. In Connecticut, the bill that was just turned down had provisions in Connecticut for the people that got wiped out by the flooding here. There was huge flooding. I put a picture of it on YouTube back. I think it's a short back about 3 months ago, September, and people got wiped out by this heavy deluge of flooding that we had. Those people, a lot of them Republicans, a lot of them Trumpers, aren't going to get their money to fix their homes. We had forest fires. We had a drought here. The people that got burned out of their homes are not going to get that money. The Groton submarine base. This is one of the biggest employers in Connecticut, full of Republicans and Democrats working for them. They're not going to get their money, and I just don't understand this ridiculous. Yes, our government has problems, but burning it all to the freaking ground isn't going to help anything. And just because you don't think it doesn't hurt you doesn't mean it's not going to hurt your neighbor. And then the thing with that is, this time it might not hurt you, but next time you might be the one under the axe. And if you just sit back and say, well, screw it, it doesn't affect me, it just affects my neighbor, then when it's your turn to be under the axe, what's your neighbor going to say? Is he just going to, you better hope he doesn't say the same thing. Well, I don't care about him, it doesn't affect me. It's just not a good way to go through life. We need to support each other. If you really love this country, you wouldn't be yelling to burn it down. All right, Walmart's about to be open. I'll be back later with another video. Have a good Friday.